Hey guys, happy Sunday. Lauren Wandell, aka The Fit Law. I was having some issues with my video, so I went ahead and restarted it. Hopefully this is making it a little bit better. If you can see me, please just give me a heads up, like a thumbs up, and just say, yes, Lauren, I got you. I'm watching on my phone and it seems to be okay, but if you have any issues with the video, just let me know. My iPad seems to be glitching out a little bit. So just a little recap. We are doing a low carb, high fat recipe just because I've been seeing so many people that are doing this eating plan. So I really wanted to kind of cater to everybody. Like I do, the container system. I've done paleo recipes. I've done Whole30 recipes. I've done a whole bunch of different stuff, but I've never done the low carb, high fat. So I decided we're going to do that. So we're making pesto chicken casserole. When I say casserole, we're actually doing it in a cast iron skillet, but I'm calling it a casserole because that's kind of what it is. But I'm cooking it in one pan because why not when you don't need to get other dishes dirty. I do have it up on my phone, so if you have questions, please pop them below in the comments so I can answer them as we go. So we're starting out with one white onion. I just am going to dice this up and stick this in here. I already had it going, so that's why we're already halfway in here. All right, let's get rid of the end of this. These onions are not good at all. They're like already cut up, not great. So incisions into the onion, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna cut straight down. If you don't know how to dice an onion, it's like one of the best skills to have. Just telling you right now. Except if you don't do it right, like me, you spill shit all over your kitchen and then your husband gets mad because he has to clean up after you. But you guys all know I'm like not a messy. I'm like the messiest person ever. That's like our arrangement, is that I make a giant mess and then Brandon cleans it up. It works. We're married AF, so. Okay, get that out of here. Okay, so I have one white onion chopped up here. And then my mistake, I've been ordering groceries through this app and I'm an idiot and I ordered elephant garlic, which basically means my garlic cloves are this freaking big. And so when it calls for 2 cloves of garlic, I only actually need like half of one because they're so massive. Look at this thing. It's like a small planet. Like, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever used elephant garlic, but it's insane. All right, thanks for giving me the heads up on the video, guys. Looks like it's working now. So I'm just gonna chop this up. I'm gonna dice this actually. You need 2 cloves of garlic if you're using regular size, but because I have this freaking monstrosity, I'm going to use half of it. The entire bulb of elephant garlic only comes with 3 cloves because they're so big. It's insane. So we're going to get all of our vegetables and everything cut up first, and the reason is because we're going to do chicken second, and that way you can use the same cutting board. You just do your veggies first, and then you do your raw meat after, so that you don't have any problems with cross-contamination or anything like that. So I have my oven preheated to 400 behind me. I am going to do some cherry tomatoes. These are totally optional. You do not need to do them, but I think that they make this dish really pretty because the pesto is all green and gorgeous. So, I mean, what's better than pairing that with like some gorgeous like cherry tomatoes? So, let's chop these up really small. Like the biggest garlic I've ever seen in my life. Seriously. It's insane. It's ridiculous. I remember getting it and I'm like, I didn't order this, and then I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally ordered elephant garlic like a moron. That is the one issue with shopping online, is that like if you just see garlic, you just click on the first thing. It was the same thing with the onions, is I'm trusting somebody else with my produce and then they buy me stupid crap that I don't like. All right, so I can just put the garlic and the onions in the bowl together, no big deal. I'm going to rinse my hands off because this is sticky. And the pesto does have a little bit of garlic in it too, but I love garlic, so we do extra. Get rid of this. Okay, we are going to slice these tomatoes in half. I have a small pan here, okay? I'm just going to slice the tomatoes in half, that's it. We're going to stick them on the sheet. Doesn't matter if they're skin side down or whatever, just throw them on here. We're just gonna blister these and kind of roast them a little bit. They're almost gonna be like a garnish on top. Like I said, we just wanna cook them through. It's gonna be really, really pretty, nothing fancy. And if you don't like tomatoes, you don't have to do this. You're kicked out of the kitchen, go away. My cat is such an asshole. Last night we had a bonfire. We had friends over, we had a bonfire. It was so much fun. And then we're getting ready to wrap up. Everybody's going, like, they're going home. And my husband opens the garage door and my cat takes off in the middle of the night, like trying to escape into the neighborhood because he's such a jerk. So we had to run around the backyard looking for him. And now he's pestering me and sitting by my feet because he's a jackass. I love him. Anybody else have asshole cats? The other one's fine. She doesn't go outside. You can do this whole thing where you squish these between a plate, and it's sometimes faster, but I think this is just, I don't think it's that much of a time difference. Okay, let's see. So, those are good to go. No salt, no pepper needed. Don't need any olive oil, nothing. The juices are going to kind of come out. It'll be totally fine. So just stick them in the oven, 400 degrees, just like this. Okay? All right. We're going to chop up a little bit of this parsley here, and then we'll move on to chicken. Like I said, we're just trying to garnish a little bit, guys. We're going to make it look pretty. It's already going to be green, but this will just be a little bit of fresh on top. Easy peasy. Again, totally optional. I just had some. So I figured, why not? All right, cool. So now we are on to our raw chicken. So I have 2 large chicken breasts. You need about 1.5 pounds. So I had that's like about 2 large chicken breasts. So first thing, you're gonna cut them in half. And to do this, you're just gonna hold your hand flat and just cut right along the chicken breast like this. Just cut through it, okay? Like that, make sure you're separated. And we're gonna cube this. So you're gonna cut this into basically just small pieces. You want them in bite-sized pieces. We're gonna cook these ahead of time, and then we'll take them out, remove them, and we will cook up our onions and our garlic. And then add everything together, kind of do our sauce on top. It's gonna be freaking amazing. Okay. You can just kind of cut them into strips first. Just try to make sure that they're all the same size, or when you put them in the cast iron and start kind of heating them up, they'll cook at different times, and then you get raw chicken, and you don't want that. So try to make sure that they're about, I'd say about 1 inch in diameter all the way around. My cat is an asshole. He hears the alarm go off and meows at my door till I feed him. Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow my husband on Snapchat, but he literally, every morning when he wakes up, the cats are like waiting for him at the bottom of the stairs, and they're like, feed me, and he goes and looks, and their entire bowl is full of food, and it's totally, they're fed, but they just annoy us, because they can. Okay, we're gonna do this again, all right? So, flat on top, knife all the way through. Do not cut your hand off, please. If you do, I'm not liable for that. Just saying. Just a little disclaimer. I told you not to do it. I'm trying to just, why am I removing the fat? This is a high-fat recipe. I'm not used to that. Okay. I don't like the looks of that, so I'm going to cut that off. I got a vein in there. Okay. Just pay attention to your food, guys. Sometimes there's a vein or a bone that they missed because people are not perfect. And so when they're butchering stuff, sometimes they miss it. All right. Okay, I'm going to turn my thing back on because I turned it off. So medium heat. I have about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil in there. And then when we do the onions, we will add some butter as well. But what I'm going to do is I really want to get this chicken flavor through the onions too. So because the chicken's going to take a little bit longer to cook, we're going to start it with that. We can do it at a higher heat. They're going to cook pretty quickly because the pieces are kind of small. So it shouldn't take super long. I would say maybe, 8 to 10 minutes. It's not going to be anything nuts. Okay. Now, with the pesto, you can make your own if you want. I bought some. The recipe calls for about, I want to say it's like 3.5 ounces, and I found a 3.5 ounce jar to buy. So I just am using that. All right, I'm going to get rid of this really quick and wash my hands. Okay. Alrighty. Chicken is going straight in the skillet, and then we're going to season it after we put it in there, okay? So just go straight into the hot skillet, which this one isn't hot because I turned it off like an idiot. We're going to grab some tongs out of here. And then we're going to season salt and pepper, okay? Very liberal. This is raw chicken, so it doesn't have any seasoning on it, so get in there. Don't be shy. We are going to have a lot of flavor from the pesto, but it's going to be kind of, I would say, like, toned down a lot because we're going to put heavy cream in this as well, so just understand that, like, you need some seasoning on here. Black pepper. And then you will not need these again. We're not going to season the onions and stuff because we have enough on the chicken and the pesto that we're going to be good to go. Names annoy me. Yes, is elephant garlic stronger than regular garlic? So I honestly think it's not. I think it's less strong because it's bigger. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think it's as strong, honestly. I actually think it's more of like a mild flavor. All right. Get that chicken cooked through. Okay, we are done with our knife and done with our cutting board. Let's get a little bowl. I try to always have everything out, but then I forget. So, we are going to do some heavy cream and some pesto. We're going to whisk this together. So we need 3.5 ounces of pesto. So I just bought some in this little container. This is exactly 3.5 ounces, so we're going to use the whole jar. But again, if you have your own, like, use your homemade pesto. I don't even think you need this much. I'm only going to use, I think I'm going to use about half of this. So don't mind me, I'm just changing my recipe as I go. This is what happens though, is like, I try out new recipes and I'm like, nah, I don't like that, and so I just change it. For the cream, you need 1 cup and 2/3. So we'll start with our cup right here. And this is heavy whipping cream. Again, guys, this is a high-fat recipe. We're not afraid of the fat. Okay, so that's 1 cup. Okay, and then we need 2/3. So this is a 1/3 cup, so I'm going to do 2, 1, 2. Okay, rid of that. All right, we're going to whisk this up. So mix this all together. I'm about to figure out if I want the rest of that pesto or not, which I think I do. I'm just changing my mind all over the place. This is the beauty of me cooking for my family and not for you guys, is that, well, I guess this is real life, people. This is how Lauren cooks. So yeah, I lied. Use the whole jar. All right. Look at that. I feel like there's some stuck, maybe not. Okay, that's like more of like a white sauce. Pretty pale. All right, good to go. We're gonna put that off to the side. Stir our chicken here. You know what? I changed my mind. I know I said I was gonna do a single one, but this is gonna be faster. So I'm just gonna grab another pan here. You can wait and take the chicken out and do them separately, but for sake of time, I'm going to do this. So you need a tablespoon of butter in this side, okay? And we're going to use oil. Now, the reason I do both is for flavor purposes. The butter brings out flavor, and the olive oil has a higher smoking point, so it's better for like the caramelization of the onion. So you use half and half. So you can use a tablespoon of each. You know, a half a tablespoon of each. Just make sure it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's the same amount of butter as it is oil. Good idea with chicken casserole. Thanks for the recipe idea. Sure, no problem. Why don't you guys tell me what you're having tonight for dinner? Make me jealous. If you have something with bacon, you already won. So, I mean, you guys know how I feel about bacon. Okay, so I have, whoops, chicken down. I lost a piece of chicken. My husband. My poor husband. Okay, those are almost done. So we have the onions and garlic here. Come on. Waiting for that butter to melt. Steak tacos, had a wrap, jealous of your dinner. Homemade fries and grilled chicken, enchiladas. Crystal, I think, wins this. She said wine, cheese, and raspberries. I think that sounds freaking amazing. I have chicken and shake and bake and boiled potatoes. I didn't cook. No bacon, but yummy zoodles. That sounds amazing. Salmon and broccoli. Fajitas. Grilled salmon and corn on the cob. You guys are having some good stuff. Okay, we're going to do onions and garlic. Those in the second pan. Okay. Like I said, we're not going to season that, okay? Let's see. Brown turkey with zucchini pasta noodles. That sounds freaking awesome. I'm so more jealous of you having back and hip pain, so we did easy pasta dinner. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, so this is one of those recipes that, it's funny, I've been looking into this diet, and actually I have a coach, I think she's watching, who introduced me to it and has been talking to me about it, and I've been kind of stuck at a plateau for a while, and I was like, I could try something new, and I've done Whole30, I've done all this other, but this is like all the rage right now, so I'm thinking, I've been using it for a few days, and I wanted to try a new recipe out. Okay? And then now, when you toss your onions, I'm going to teach you guys a trick. So, when you toss them, they teach you kind of like the pan flip in school. Well, and I just kind of learned this myself. So if you push the stuff to the end of the pan and you flip it up and pull it back at the same time, you don't even need a spoon because you can just stir it with your pan. Oh my gosh, that smells ridiculous. What's this diet called? Yeah, I think it's keto. It's keto, I think so. High fat, low carb. Baked potatoes, new air fryer, homemade sweet potatoes, french fries. This sounds amazing, guys. Oh my gosh, this cat. Stop it. Somebody can have him. He's for sale. For sale. It's 10 a.m. here in Australia. Yeah, it's not. What time is it? It's 8:30 here. Okay, ready? We're going to stir the onions again. Ready? Whoop. And don't forget, we have those tomatoes in there as well. He's almost done. And then when we're ready, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to pour our onions in there, and then we're going to top it with this. We're going to top it with feta cheese, because like there isn't enough fat in this. It's so funny, because the amount of fat that you have to eat, it's like ridiculous. And so I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to eat more and more and more. Like every time I think I'm eating too much, I'm not, because I'm not eating any carbs. So it was really interesting to me to see the difference from what I eat like now to what you eat like with this diet, because it's completely different. So I can add feta to this. So I'm going to add feta and tomatoes because it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. Let's see. What are the benefits of doing this type of diet? A lot of people say that it helps with their digestive issues, and they also say that it puts them in ketosis, which ketones make you have tons of energy. So that's what a lot of people use it for. I honestly haven't done a ton of research on it, other than like what I've heard from other people. But it's supposed to help with joint pain and like leaky gut and like a couple other issues. So some people have had really good success with it. I'm very new to it, so I'm not even going to pretend. I have a couple books that I'm listening to on the topic, so I'm not going to pretend like I know everything because I don't. But I've heard a lot of great things about it. Okay, those are almost done, and then we can combine here. Okay, we got another minute there, and then we're done with that. Helps your body burn fat instead of glucose. There you go. Straight from Bonnie's mouth. 10 p.m. in Canada. Yeah, you guys are all way later than me. Okay. Come on, onions. My little brother, he used to call them onions because he couldn't say onions. Boom, and there's your answer. Okay, Pesto is like one of my favorite things. For those of you who don't know, pesto is made of pine nuts. Usually it's pine nuts, garlic, basil, olive oil. So it's pretty high in fat as well, but it also does have some carbs in it. So if you are on this diet, there are carbs in this. There's carbs in everything, but it's pretty low carb. So it's a good fit for this eating plan. Okay, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to cut off my onions here. We're going to pour those in. Get this off to the side. I have granite countertops. Don't worry, I'm not going to burn it. Okay, now, when you're doing this part, I want you to turn off the heat completely. Okay? And then we're going to pour this right over top. No need to mix it or anything. We're just going to pour it right over the top, okay? Oh my gosh, this smells insane. Okay? We're going to sprinkle the feta right over top. And you can just kind of eyeball this. I'm not going to put parsley on until it comes out, okay? Now, I'm going to take this. I'm going to move my tomatoes down because I have those on the top here, and those aren't quite done yet. But I want this at on the top rack, okay? And I am going to burn myself if I do not hold this with something else. And I'm going to stick this right into a 400-degree oven, okay? But be careful because there's liquid in this, so I don't want you to spill it. Okay, now we're going to cook that for about 30 to, I would say about 30 minutes. And then we'll take it out. We'll garnish it with the tomatoes and the parsley, and it's going to look freaking amazing. It's going to taste delicious. I mean, how can you go wrong with like cream and pesto? You know what I mean? It's like the perfect pasta. If you wanted to serve this with zoodles, you totally could. It would be magnificent. And it's just a really good fit for this kind of diet. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be putting a full picture of the casserole up on my Instagram and my Snapchat, which are both at The Fit Law, one word. So go ahead and head over there if you want to see a full picture. Again, for the full recipe, go ahead and click up in the description. There's a link to my blog there, and this will be up on my Pinterest a little bit later tonight as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I will see you next week with another recipe. I'm going to be doing a couple for the keto diet over the next couple weeks just because I want to play around with it a little bit. So tune in for that, and I will see you guys next week. All right, thanks. Bye.